What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm reviewing Billy Joel and So It Goes. This is a two-part docu-series, much the same way they just did and Pee-wee as himself. So if you were able to get through that, you'll be able to get through this. It's filmed like the same way, where there's a part one and a part two. Each one is technically a feature-length movie in and of itself. And it has audio description. This is narrated by Bill Larson, which is cool. I don't hear him doing a ton of stuff on Max. Nice to see him jump from Netflix. And it's a pretty comprehensive look at the man, the myth, the Billy. I'm not like a giant fan of Billy Joel, so but I'm not a fan. When I say that I'm not a fan of Billy Joel, I mean, like, I don't own a Billy Joel album. Like, I'm aware of who Billy Joel is, and I don't have, like, a negative opinion of him. I just am not somebody who pops on Billy Joel on the regular. So, you know, I would have had a hard time naming too many of his own songs. I would have gotten like 3 or 4, but then listening to this movie, I was like, oh man, oh God, he did that one too? Oh, of course he did that one. I forgot about that one. So it was really nice listening to the whole thing, 4 hours, and getting to hear all the music that he's sort of done and been a part of throughout his career. Obviously, he's going through a little bit of a not mental health. It's literally I don't mean he has a mental health problem. I mean, he has a health problem that is in his brain. That's what I meant. Brain health. Anyway, there's a health problem and it's in his head. Now this sounds like he's imagining it. I'm not going to be able to make this video better. Click subscribe. So Billy Joel obviously recently had to get off some tour stuff, and then they were able to put out this doc. So it's very timely that this documentary hit was already in the works. And you're going to navigate through both his career and his personal life, sort of where he came from, his musical influences, how he was able to break in as a solo act, the uphill battle he sort of had as a solo act because he's a little bit different than anybody else, and selling himself as that and being successful in that, and all of the sort of like weird success story moments that he's had over the years, and the artists that he's sung with, the women he's slept with, and yeah, it's all there. Joel participates. This is not like something that was done like without his permission, which there's a good and a bad to that. There is a good and a bad to that. And I think about this, and I say this anytime we do this about somebody who's living or their family members are involved, is that I feel like that's when you get like there's a cook in the kitchen that doesn't belong there, and they're watching and they're like, no, don't do that. Don't put that in there. You know? For example, a lot of people, it happens also with narrative biopics too, not just documentaries. But I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston biopic, which gave Clive Owen sort of like Clive Davis, this sort of Clive Owen also he made it out of that movie looking pretty good too, since he wasn't in it. But yeah, Clive Davis was in that movie, featured in that movie, played by Stanley Tucci, and they made him look like he was the most warm and fuzziest of them all. And a lot of people who sort of knew anything or were working with it had a little bit of problem with the way that he was presented and represented. You can get that sometimes when the person is still around. It's like you don't want to offend the family. You don't want to. The Michael movie is going to have interesting uphill battles to overcome, as the family involvement there. It's quite heavy. I kind of think about like if like Howard Hughes had made a documentary about himself back in the day, would he have let the world know about, for example, like his OCD, which now everybody knows about because it was made in The Aviator. So it's even like Duster, the HBO Max series, touched upon it. So it's something that we like regularly know about Howard Hughes. But is it something that would have made it into if somebody had gone down and filmed a Howard Hughes documentary, or would he have figured out how to like make it seem like he wasn't that, and had this legacy on film as being, I'm Howard Hughes, I'm brilliant, I'm an amazing person, and I've never done anything weird or wrong, or anything that history is ever going to look back on and go, what? So yeah, Billy Joel, it's, like I said, it's about as honest as I feel like he can get. He talks about his relationships and the failings of them, and the women sort of talk about them, and the reasons why their marriages ended. He's had a couple of them, and so I think it's kind of sad. I mean, like, that's kind of why I think it's there, is because Billy Joel just kind of seems to just get kind of sad. He's like, I just thought I was just going to be alone forever, and I just, like, nobody, I was just going to get old and die alone. And I was like, Billy, I'm coming. Where are you? I don't even like Billy Joel. I was like, at one point he just gets so sad and depressed that I forgot he actually has anybody with him. It's like, nobody loves me. I was like, I'm sorry, Billy. Somebody go love Billy Joel. So I don't know, there's plenty of that in there. He talks about how the media blew up the fact that supposedly he was an alcoholic and had DUI arrests, and he's like, I've never had a DUI arrest. But there's a fact checker. There's nobody that runs in and it's like, sure, actually, he gets whatever he wants, and it's going to be in the documentary edit. So, I mean, I would hope that the filmmakers wouldn't have let that in there if it wasn't true, that they would do their due diligence. I'm just assuming that they did due diligence. So that's the problem, is that you have to assume that the directors did their due diligence. And, because you can just say it. I mean, Nixon said he wasn't a crook. It didn't mean he wasn't. So, I don't know. I like Billy Joel. I think this is a good documentary for anybody who does like Billy Joel. It's 4 hours. So if you're a fan of Billy Joel, it's 4 hours of your life to learn more about Billy Joel and appreciate his music and where he came from. And I mean, a lot of people watched the Pee-wee thing, right? That was the same length as this. So HBO seems to be testing the waters with how much people are willing to like people, watch content about somebody or whatever artist they like, or person or individual. All of this is really just content creation. Documentaries, I think, are cheaper to film than series, and they're easier, and they can fill up libraries and bring people in with, do you want to watch something about this person or this event? So we have all these, interesting documentaries about various things. We got some Katrina docs this year because it's 20 years since Katrina. Yeah, we are living in sort of a documentary world, and we are documentary girls. We are living in a documentary world, and we are documentary girls. If you haven't clicked subscribe by now, I really don't know what else I can do for you. So, it's Billy Joel, and So It Goes. Has enough music performances in there for you to be able to just enjoy the music. It has enough content in here to feel like you're not wasting your time. There are other people who come in and discuss Billy Joel, so it's not just Billy Joel talking to the camera, which also Pee-wee's himself had other people. It wasn't just Paul Rubens talking to the camera the whole time. And yeah, this is pretty even. Like, I thought Billy did a pretty good job of opening up to the camera, much the same way Paul Rubens did. He has maybe a little bit less to open up the camera about, but I mean, he does have to address things like the DUI arrests. So, and his, marriages and the failures of them, and of those kind of things. I mean, he has things that are personal to him. They're just not the same things. So, yeah, I liked this, and I would recommend it. So I'm gonna go fresh. We're gonna go 8.9 out of 10. I enjoyed Billy Joel, and so it goes. And so it goes. Yep. Play me a song, Piano Man. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys on the other side. I'm in a New York state of mind.